My sincere thanks on this occasion are spread thin to so many who have helped me. Also, apologies are due to selected teachers and students because your classes have been canceled. It's not easy to be faced with being more interesting and more deserving of attention than your scheduled activities. In fact, I've been conditioned to not expect attention. This conditioning began as I worked my way through several degrees. Once, a young girl about 6 was introduced to me when I was in graduate school. She was told that, like her, I was a student. She looked sadly at her mother and asked, "Did he fail a lot?" Other students helped in the conditioning. One of my early teacher evaluation comments was the following: "I've never understood mathematics until now, and Anderson's the cause." The biggest lesson came when I was at a party and I was introduced to a group as Dr. Anderson. One of the people who returned my greetings was clearly restraining his disdain. He said, "Now, are you a real doctor or just some guy with a degree?" So, I'm not prepared for the attention or the responsibility of being a Regents professor. Still, it has happened. You're all here, and I realize that if I don't say something profound pretty soon, we're all going to be embarrassed. My understanding of this address is that it should be directed to the faculty here, yet still accessible to a wider audience of students, administrators, townspeople, and others of vagrant curiosity. I doubt I can say anything profound, but my mother has. My mother raised 7 children. In any age, this should earn her congratulations and respect. One time someone remarked how well behaved her children were. "Well," she said quickly, "you needn't think I want to live with a bunch of idiots." Now, this statement is profound because it takes the insights gained from her experiences and condenses them into a short, understandable sentiment. She wants a good life, so she doesn't want to live with a bunch of idiots. The statement has depth because it generalizes to a multitude of other settings. It's not hard to see the application to teaching, and it's not far from the reason for the existence of this university. We're here because please allow me to rephrase a bit. We are here because we want to improve society. I did not mean to suggest we're here because we don't want to live with a bunch of idiots as a marketing phrase or a mission statement. But, on coming here to what was then East Texas State University in the 1970s, I was one of a large number of new and young faculty members. It was an exciting time for the university. And one thing I realized, I think all the new faculty did at some level, was that there was a tradition of good teaching here. There were people like Sam Cochran and Bob Mundy, Dennis Grantham and Harry Wade, who were all known to be excellent teachers. Now, this is not to say there was not a critical mass of bad teachers also. However, the influence of the good teachers was great enough that some of the bad teachers thought they were good too. This observation has always served to make me most cautious in evaluating my own teaching. It also made me realize that most teachers believe they deliver good instruction. I hope so. teaching is too important to be done by people who are not trying. The good teaching influenced us. We observed that air of wisdom in Sam Cochran, the thorough preparation of Bob Mundy, the dynamic and excited attitude of Dennis Grantham, and the gentle, gracious manner of Harry Wade. This environment, in conscious and unconscious ways, certainly had a good effect on many of us. So the good influence of teachers plays a critical role, not just for their students, but for teachers beyond their discipline, for the reputation and success of the university. I think teachers should know this. You've seen that the title of this address is Things an Aging Teacher Should Know. Please note that I said aging, not aged. I point this comment to new and young members of our faculty. You are aging, and you need to know that your career will pass so very quickly. Don't waste time. The next thing I think you should know is to attend class, and I don't mean your own classes. Well, if you don't already know that, perhaps you should schedule a visit with my mother. What I mean is to attend the classes of other teachers. You must not forget what it feels like to learn in a setting that you expect others to learn. Additionally, you'll gain valuable insight into watching others teach. This point was made clear to me when I was a department head. One of my duties was to evaluate teachers, so it made sense to me that I should watch them teach. What I found was that I always learned something about how to teach better myself. Always. Sometimes it was how not to do something, but most often I picked up usable techniques that I could adapt in my own classes. Evaluations aside, a teacher can profit much from watching others. Let me insert a story here. Some of you know that I like to play music. There was a time when I would gather with a group of my friends for one weekend each year. One weekend, that's all we got. We would do nothing but play music. We liked to pick. From Friday until Sunday morning, we removed all other obligations from our lives, and we picked. It was great fun, and we never got our fill of it. One year, a discussion started about what we would do if one of us won the lottery. All the talk centered on how our time together could be lengthened and made even better. One person said, if I won the lottery, I'd rent a suite of hotel rooms in Hawaii. I'd fly all of you there, and we'd pick for a whole week. The second one said, if I won the lottery, I'd rent the whole floor of a hotel in Hawaii for 2 weeks. I'd bring over the finest instrument makers and let all of you select any handmade instrument you wanted. I'd buy it for you, and then we'd spend the rest of the time picking. The third said, well, if I won the lottery, I'd rent the entire hotel in Hawaii for 3 weeks. I'd bring in the luthiers, I'd buy all you the best instruments, and we'd pick for 2 weeks. That last week, I'd fly in some entertainment. I'd fly in the Rolling Stones and Dolly Parton and Stevie Wonder, and I'd make them listen to us pick. This reversal of roles is what I'm suggesting. When confronting your own teaching, it's not a bad exercise to answer the question, would I pay money to listen to what I'm saying, or should I have to pay others to listen? Putting yourself in the place of the student can motivate you to work better. Now, I'm not wanting any of the authorities here to start requiring everyone to start attending somebody else's classes to observe teaching. Requirements are to be avoided. Requirements can neither adorn a desirable goal nor add satisfaction to its completion.